All right, everybody. Welcome to the second episode of the Medical Mafia.
Ooh.
So like I was telling everybody else before we started recording, I realized that we didn't really explain how we met. Like we did introductions and stuff like that, but I know somebody was like, "Dang, how all these random kids with sickle cell end up in a group together?" And we're here to tell you that story. And we'll do that, and we'll get into some topic as well. So pretty much, we all went to a hematology oncology camp. So there was kids with cancer, sickle cell, hemophilia. Y'all know the name of that one vascular disease?
No.
That
Avascular? No, that's not it.
This man was about to say avascular necrosis. No, incorrect. No, it's what Kobe has.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I don't know the name of it. I'm gonna have to ask him and then put it in here. But pretty much we all went for 1 week out of the summer. It was like the longest but
For
shortest
years.
ever. Yeah, for years, multiple years. Some of us went longer than others. But we all pretty much met there and then just decided to keep in touch. So out of 300, 400 kids, us 14 made a group. That's pretty much only the real was able to get in.
How long has it been?
You said how long it's been?
Mm-hmm.
I started going to camp in 2010.
I went 2009.
Yeah, so
I think I went in 2008 or 2009. One of those.
One of those.
2012, something like that.
And I know Jake started something crazy in 07, 08, something like that. But yeah, so we all, like I said, we all started at different times, but we all ended up clicking. And I think the part that people miss in terms of our relationship that we built at camp, yeah, we was all friends, but I feel like we was all battling. Like we was battling counselors, doctors, and then once we see, we was like, "Oh, you cool? Oh, you just took up for me." Like we locked in. You know what I'm saying?
Locked in for sure.
That made us closer, especially after I called it the water gun massacre in 2017. After that situation, I said, "Oh, we locked in for real."
Water gun massacre is wild.
Especially when Bethany was cussing out them doctors like that. I was like, "Oh, okay, all right." But yeah, pretty much we just went out there for a week for multiple years in a row. They would have different activities. Brian says that they had us out there playing slave games in the field.
Hey.
he said the one day, because you know how they would split us up in our health groups, like with sickle cell, cancer, all that. He said the one day we was out there and they only had the sickle cell kids out there in the field, and it was nothing but a whole bunch of black kids in the heat in the soccer field playing games. It was a fool. Man.
Saying, but I understand where he was coming from, because why is all the sickle cell kids in the heat like that?
In the heat. Well, I mean, if you think about it, there was a lot of why is this happening right now? I remember there was this one time we was in the I can't remember who was with me, but it was some of us. We was in the rec center for choice times, and it was raining, and they was like, "Y'all got to switch." And I looked at Lucas. It was his first year. I said, "Lucas, we ain't going nowhere. We ain't going nowhere." I said, "Cause if we end up sick and we get sent home, we gonna be pissed." And he looked. He was like, "All right." And then the other counselor, one of the female, because the female counselors used to be, they took their job seriously, and she came in and was like, "Ladies, you guys have to go somewhere else." He said, "Nope, they're fine. Stay right here." I said, "Yep, we locked in, Lucas. That's all I needed. That's all I needed to know." But I guess we could go around and just say what our favorite parts of camp were. I guess if somebody wants to start.
Ain't gonna lie, favorite part of camp is definitely the bonds. Ain't gonna lie, y'all really turned into my siblings,
No,
literally.
real talk. Real talk.
So that's definitely the best part. And then the counselors too, because you can't forget about them. They definitely impacted impacted us on some goofy on some goofy ways and some serious ways, but mostly the goofy ways.
Yeah, heavy on the counselors, and we got an episode coming up where we got 3 of them joining us. I ain't gonna tell y'all who coming up, but I'm pretty excited. Just throw that out there. And I'm gonna try to make that one mandatory so that everybody will join. But we'll see what that looks like in terms of schedules. But yeah, I agree with the counselor portion and the bond portion as well.
Yeah,
That
definitely.
was hard.
Go ahead. You go. You got one?
You
I'm
don't got
still
no favorite parts of
thinking.
camp? Oh, you said you still
I mean,
thinking.
like, I liked a lot of camp, like, but I didn't, like, besides meeting y'all, I really didn't have no specific, like, oh my God, that's my favorite thing to
Favorite
do.
part. Now, my
I
favorite
like
thing,
the artist.
my favorite thing was when the football. Remember when the football players used to come, the UC Bearcats, and the girls, we would decide in the cabin. We'd be like, all right, we're gonna play a game, and we would see how many football players we could get to paint their nails. And they'd be like,
Oh
oh,
yeah.
you know, they'd be all hard. Oh, I ain't paint my nails. I ain't paint. And then I'd be like, you're not gonna do it for the sick kids. And then they'd be like, oh. And then they would get like one nail or one hand painted. And that would be one of my favorite memories, because we would for real guilt trip them. And I remember one year, one of the football players had gave his Instagram to my counselor so that I could follow him once I get back home. And we still follow each other till this day. And he had slid up on my story just the other day and was like, I still remember coming out to camp and working with y'all. He was like, that was one of the most rewarding things that I have ever done. He was like, I would never forget that. Like, and I was like, for sure. Like, cause that was pretty fun. Yeah. But that was one of my favorites. And then it would be that, and when we got older and they would let us have them dances in the dining hall, and it would just be like random cabins. Like, we wasn't even supposed to be down there for real. And it would be like a bunch of glow sticks and like one counselor. Like, I wonder if they got in trouble for that. Like, where were these kids at? Like,
I remember
because it was a mix.
I remember my counselor was mad that we was staying there. She wanted us to leave so bad, but we had Tim.
And I don't know who orchestrated that. Tim really orchestrated.
Yeah, it was that year. Tim did that. But then my favorite, they did that. And then y'all remember when the playlist used to be like unhinged? Like, it would just be Dunk by Soulja Boy. We would be like 7 years old. They'd be playing Dunk. Then they would play something else crazy. And I like thinking back on it, like they was really unhinged for real. They really ain't care. It'd be like the Cat Daddy. And I was thinking about it the other day, like, how did they obtain the clean version of that song? Because you can't find the clean version nowhere. But I don't remember there being no cuss words or nothing. You know what I'm saying? And then this year when I went back to camp, they had a playlist on Spotify and it just wasn't hitting how it used to hit. And I was just like, man.
Now the playlist used to hit when we had Chase. Dancing with Chase.
Dancing with Chance. Yeah, that was my dude. Every time, what's that one Beyonce song?
The Get Me Body. Yeah.
Body. I listen to that song and be like, in the core, I still don't know how to do the dance today. I used to watch him all the time. You know? I used to wish I could do it because Chance used to be having them out here.
Them dance parties was lit. I ain't gonna lie.
Okay.
Those was lit.
I miss the years that we had like 3-4 dances, like not the one that was just like together, but then you had the ones with like the cabins and all of that.
Yeah. That was a good 3 years. A good 2-3 years we had that.
Yeah. Lauren, you got anything?
I'm gonna say, just keep on the topic of parties. It was a green unit party. And then that's up here. And then we did a kitchen raid like right after that. That was like
KRs used to hit. So hold up, I want to start because we have to be mindful that people may not know some of these terms. So green unit was the oldest kids. So they split us up into units. They did Purple unit was the youngest, orange was the middle, green was the oldest. And sometimes they would have blue unit, depending on how many kids we had. So that's what units mean. And then the KR is a kitchen raid. And they used to have us, bro, it used to be the goofiest thing, but then things would be so fun when they would have us run out and act like we was hiding in the trees, like the staff couldn't see us, but they could really see us. This would be the tree. We would be like this. Be like, where are the kids at? And we like that used to be comedy for real.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. It was that one year when we got older and then we had that kitchen raid. I think it was me and LaRon. We was in Greenview, I think. That was the funniest kitchen raid ever in life because we had know what was going on, but it was some kids that didn't really know what was going on, and that was so funny. Like that was so funny.
I tell you, once we made it to G Unit, I felt like we made it. Shot was hard to G Unit. I said, you can't tell me nothing. Like I couldn't wait because when we used to have the unit wars and they would bring out the paint and stuff, I couldn't wait to be talking about some cheese, like, like. And then that was that year.
Serious.
I remember that year we made it. We had all made it to G Unit, and we was finally all in the same unit as Andre. Remember he had us in the rec center. And like Clay had just played this like song, this emotional song. He was like, "You call yourself family, listen to this song." And then Dre got up. He was just like, "I love y'all, man." I love y'all. That's all he kept saying was, "I love y'all, man. Y'all be looking at. I love y'all, man." Like I'll never forget that. That was top tier stuff right there too. The LaRon said the dances and KRs. What about you, Simone?
Oh, I like when we was younger, when we first started going to camp and when they came up with the dances and they used to make us go downstairs and pick out dresses and all kind of stuff, get our makeup done.
Yeah.
That was fun.
And paint the nails and stuff.
I loved when they came out and was like, they would always do our hair and stuff. But my mama would send me to camp with like braids. And I was looking at other girls getting their hair done.
That was not all inclusive. No, I'm playing.
My mama was so mad because she came and picked me up and my braids was gone. I let them do my hair. She was
hey, we was living life. We wanted to participate.
Look, I had to.
I wanna like, cause the lady that organizes camp now, she cool people for real, and she open to any and all ideas. And I want to be able to be like at a place where we could go back and do that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like we came to camp. These are the memories that we have that we want to give to y'all. Cause camp last year, like the past summer when I went to go work, it was so boring, bro. Them kids was cussing, like them teenagers, they was cussing us out like we made the schedule. And I had to tell them, I said, look, if I was y'all, I'd be mad too. So I said, I'm trying, okay? Like I reached out to the people, we trying. I said, what is the stuff y'all want to do? Cause they had even blew me. And then, with a lot of the sponsorships we had, that was with the other social workers and stuff that we had. So they didn't have Chick-fil-A, they had Cane's. That was the one thing that was sponsored. And they gave them like 4 chicken tenders, 2 breads, 2 sauces. I was like, oh, y'all big out here. We had Papa John's. So it was Papa John's and Cane's. But when we was kids, we used to have Skyline, Papa John's. We had Chick-fil-A. We had remember when the Reds Cooks came? The Reds baseball team, the Cooks us the one night. And then the rest of the time we would eat camp food, which was all right. I mean, shit, we was hungry, so we was going. You know what I'm saying?
We weren't about to starve.
Okay. I like the little cereal wars we would have.
The cereal board?
Right. Mm-hmm.
You said the cereal board or the wars?
The wars, the little cereal wars would
have. Y'all remember when they used to, every time you came to the table, they used to have you do something just so outlandish, like just so crazy, like run up and down the hall.
Just give me my cereal.
I'm saying, like run up and down the dining hall 2 times. I'm like, bro, what?
You'd be like, you gotta run up and down the dining hall and scream, "You love cabin 2B."
I I said,
Like, no.
Then you can get the Cocoa Puffs.
Always the Cocoa Puffs.
Hey, but if you walked up to the table and you was locked in, I'd be like, hey, that's my brother. Just go ahead and give it to him. Like, my other favorite part is when we used to try to hook the female counselors up with the male counselors with a date for a dance. Okay. And we would make like the like signs and stuff, and we would like prepare something for lunch. That used to be fun. I remember doing that.
Man, the freaking cabin cleaning wars, bro, for that golden plunger.
Yeah.
Bro.
Hey, this year
used to get serious.
We won the golden plunger and the scrub brush. They taped that hoe together. It was like the first time in history ever. Yeah, my girls was like, ah!
Hard to clean up because I wanted them thin mints so bad.
Hey.
So bad.
I'm just mad the man shit used to hide all them snacks like that, and then they give us like a pack of 2 Oreos.
Oh, God.
Like, y'all got a boatload of snacks and y'all being stingy.
For real.
Used to have the Rice Krispie treats, the little golden graham crackers, but I'd be like, God damn.
Once I got locked in a little bit, I used to start finessing. Can I please?
The fruit snacks, the goldfish.
My man's gonna make my tummy hurt. I need something. But no, it really the whole camp experience was really what we made it. If you think
about it. Facts. We really turned that up. I ain't gonna lie.
We did that. Because if we would have never did that, we would have been real boring. And then there's people that I talk to even to this day that are like, I wish I would have took camp as seriously as y'all did. And it's like, shoulda, coulda, woulda. I mean, I don't know what to tell you now. You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying, because really, if you was there, it was like, shoot, it was really lit because we was there. Type, like, we made it lit.
That's what I'm saying. We low-key ran it. I don't think nobody would admit it, like, in terms of staff, but we was out there calling the shots some of them years. I ain't even gonna lie to
you. Literally.
Once we got together as a full group, it was over.
You said what, Simone?
Once we got together as a full group and got real close, it was over.
Well, remember that one year we all like just boycotted swimming, and it was like 20 people under the pool and shit.
Yes, because they was tripping.
I was watching one of the year's slide shows, and you could see like literally everybody under there just playing card games. It was a wild, like, I remember it was like 2015. I just stopped packing a swimsuit. I was like, I'm not about to even
risk that shit.
Yeah, because they would give us ibuprofen when we got out the pool, and they would warm us up in a towel. But that, if you think about it, the walk back to the cabins and then walking back in the cold cabin, that's what's gonna set it off. It ain't going ibuprofen in a towel.
Yeah.
I get what you trying to do. You be a preventative or whatever the word is, but think about it. Think about how many kids went down after pool time. And then what I learned was they check the warmth of the pool by like a certain temperature. So like if you say it's like 35 degrees or some shit like that, then they'll be like, oh, it's good to go. But you put your hand in it, it'd be ice cold. Freezing. Yeah. I'm like, so why are we not just doing like water balloon games or a water slide and then making all the kids go warm up or something? I used to have to go, like, when we went swimming, I would tell the counselors, like, not on no favoritism stuff, but all sickle cell kids need to get in the shower first.
It did.
There used to be another thing, sitting in the cabin, this cold cabin, waiting to get in the shower.
Yeah.
I'm saying,
and that's
fan blowing,
taking their time washing their hair and stuff.
Always had sickle cell kids go first.
Colored people. Sitting there, they'd be taking their time washing their hair for real. You'd be like,
we're all in the drain, bro.
Bro, that used to
it used to be bad too.
Gonna lie to you.
Yeah, it used to be bad.
No hair. Well, I remember that way the last year, 2017. I was like, look, we all grown at this point. Get your stuff out the sink, out the shower, and keep it pushing. Like,
This is not your house.
That's why mugs would mess around and skip showers.
Gotta wear shower shoes and everything. Is we in jail?
I'm saying, literally gotta put on shower shoes just to take a shower. Like,
Oh, you make me so mad.
Oh man, it's some stuff that I would definitely 10 out of 10 go back and do again, and then there's just some stuff that I'm like, why weren't y'all better prepared?
No, for real.
Facts.
I want to make it clear that like we're not bashing camp. We love camp 100%.
Love camp.
If you experienced what we experienced, you would understand like some of that stuff wasn't cool, and our parents damn sure didn't know it was happening, because if they did, it would have continued. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. I think it was just need to be planned out better for sure. Like some of the stuff needed to be planned out a little bit better than that. Or they needed to definitely do some more research on like who they had coming to their camp.
And get better organization.
Yeah, and they knew the kids that was coming. It's just the counselors didn't know anything. And then once it came down to education, they would be like, "Oh, sickle cell kids can't get cold. On to hemophilia." More to sickle cell than that. Like I remember there was one year I had counselors coming up to me asking me questions because they just weren't informed. You know what I'm saying? So
right.
I agree with feeling like some things could have been more prepared and planned for.
I thought of a favorite part. I finally thought of it. Playing Gaga.
That's crazy. I was thinking in my head. I was just waiting to say it. I was just waiting to say it.
I still got the scars on my knuckles to this day because I played that game hard.
Gaga tournaments was serious.
It was 3 people. If I see the Kennebrew twins or Jacob, I wasn't getting in.
I would play with Jacob. Me and him
would go I'm not getting in at all.
Yeah, me and Jake was going toe to toe.
You couldn't pay me to get in once them Kennebrew twins was in there because it wasn't fun no more. Because it was hurt. But Ariana, you be hitting hard though, especially if we play Babojis.
Babojis is a different game too. I ain't gonna lie. That's PTSD right there.
Hey, I remember when we went back to camp in 2020 or 2021, whenever that was, and we was playing. And I had said something, Ariana, I forgot we was even playing. She walked up on me, punched me. I said, "The hell, you punched me like that before?" And then I was like, "Oh, we playing a game."
We and Zion and Juju and Craig.
Bro, that man Juju and Ariana, bro. Juju was like, "You want to play this game with me?" I got suckered in because ain't no way he didn't explain the rules to me of this game. Like I just knew. I'm over here thinking this is a friendly game. Like, no, something so serious, so different.
Hey, remember when the counselors was playing the dart game?
Yeah.
I took that back to school because since they wouldn't let us play, I was like, okay, I'm gonna find some people to play with. So I took it to school. I was in middle school, and I told them the rules to the game. And then we had this thing every single Friday called community meeting, where like I was one of the hosts, and it was this other girl, and we did these things called thank you cards. Like, so if somebody did something great that you wanted to thank them for during the week, they'd give it to you. This kid gave me one, and I looked, and they said, turn it on the back. And then it said, look up. And I looked up, and he was like, and then I had the ball right then and there. And I was like, bro, you crazy for that. But I was so excited to let us play because we would have took that over.
I'm saying, I wanted to play that too. That seemed fun.
For real. But I think,
Star
tripping is a good way.
Yeah, stargazing.
Okay, we gotta start getting closer so that she don't fall. Will you hold my phone?
I'm just doing this so you can get the face.
You'll see. Whenever we push the flashlight on you. How long is she spinning for? How long are we counting? Okay. Yeah. Okay. One. Go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Damn.
Wait, did you know it's actually start tipping?
Start tipping?
I heard that.
I had Googled it one day, and Urban Dictionary says it's star tipping, but we call it star tripping. So we gonna stay with that. But no, camp used to be live for real until we started waking up to what was really going on. But I think the beautiful thing that came out of it is that we all became advocates in our own. Like that's where we all found.
Definitely taught me to learn how to advocate for myself.
Yeah, because your mama ain't there for that week. You know what I'm saying? So she ain't gonna say you can't do this, and this.
And taught me how to take care of myself better, like outside.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, camp used to be one heck of a time. For sure. But I think my favorite parts outside of camp though, and I was thinking about this the other day. I kind of wish we were back to being like 15, 16, 17, where I could hit y'all up and be like, all right, I'm in Cincinnati for the weekend. What we doing?
Oh, yeah.
I wish we could have one of those days where everybody's still back in Ohio and like ain't nobody moved yet. And we could just kick it at AHA on like good time, like the old days. Walk in and see Zion's little thing, the little money thing for the Heart Association.
Look at Zion. Look at Zion.
Keep it pushing.
I know that kid.
Me and Zion using 20 sugar packets for the grits.
It's the only way.
And then it'll be like this much grits in the bowl. He moved the spoon to mix it up, and I was like, "That's all that's in there." Like, but no, I give anything to have one of them moments again. That used to be fun. As soon as I got my license, I was like, I'm in Cincinnati with it. I don't care what y'all tell me. one of my friends here, they be calling me world traveler or whatever because I don't ever be at home. And so her friend was in the room too as we was talking about it. Her friend looked at her and said, dang, it sounds like y'all the out of town friends. And talking about the friends that live here in Columbus is my out of town friends because I be out of town so much that I'm hanging out with other people. I was like, no, for real. But no, camp most definitely was one heck of
a there.
You said what?
I had my first dance there. Like my first slow dance.
First dance, first. There was a lot of first. The only thing I'm kind of salty about. I'm just sorry we can't get into the nitty gritty. If people really knew what was going on while we was out there, bro, it wasn't no illegal. Let me specify that it wasn't no illegal activity or nothing. But if y'all knew the situations and the predicaments that I am in as of right now today, because of things that happened 10 years ago, they would be like, really? Like, for real.
Bonded.
Real, we locked in. All right. The next topic we was going to talk about was going to be about families, but I didn't have like any specific questions about family. You know what I'm saying? And I also don't want to make it seem like we having like a bash session. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to give a shout out to the people, but I also kind of want to be like, I hate when you do this, but I don't want them to like feel bad. Like you feel me? Like so I don't know how to.
But I don't think it. I mean, they probably might feel bad, but at the end of the day, it's the truth and it's how we feel, and it's what they need to know. Cause I know I'll be telling my mama some stuff like, "Mom," because at the end of the day, she be the only person that be there with me at the hospital and stuff like that, and be the one taking care of me and stuff. So she know my body like I know my body like, and she need to know when I don't like something or something like that. So I'll be telling them. So I feel like they need to know.
I think I don't end up saying nothing, and then I cop an attitude, and then they be like, "What you got attitude?
Then you got an attitude."
I'm like, cause I can't say what I want to say without.
And at that time, it'd be hard to. I'm already in pain. I can't sit here and try to Express how I feel. I'm stressed out. I just want to lay down and not talk.
My medicine making me irritated.
Okay.
Yeah.
Leave me alone.
But some of the stuff that I get irritated about, like when I do get irritated, I wish that people would understand that it'd be like the meds, but then sometimes some of the stuff in my brain be common sense. So if I do this over here or I ask you to do this and then you do it the opposite way and then I get mad, it's because that was real easy in my brain. You don't understand where the disconnect is. You know what I'm saying? And then I end up getting in trouble. And my mom be like, well, you don't treat other people like that, like, girl, because other people ain't
going through what I'm going through.
Yeah, like I don't know. But like I said, I want to give them a shout out for what they be doing because they don't have to. Like, because if it was if the tables was reversed, no cap, adoption might be on the table because I don't. Like, what do you mean? Like, cause just think about it. Like, the adulting that we have to do now, right? Add a kid that's sick on top of that. Like, at my age, my mom had me, who was sickly.
Right.
I can't even pick what I'm eating tomorrow, and you gotta feed a kid. Like, it's gonna take. You know what I'm saying? You can't say here's some peanuts, go to bed, like, cause I ate peanuts for dinner the other night. So, like, you can't do that because you got to take care of the kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't. I'm for real about the whole. I would be like, oh, they got what? Oh, what are my options?
What are my options is wild.
Because like even now, and I know this is my granny was like, I can't get sidetracked, but I'm about to get sidetracked. If I was to have a kid that had sickle cell,
I couldn't do it. I don't want to because of that.
I feel like that's so selfish.
It's a lot though.
Can't do it.
That's a lot, bro.
It's a
grow
lot.
up.
I can barely manage myself with sickle cell. So imagine managing a whole different person.
It's
a baby at that.
Literally.
It's that, but then it's like I get it. There's people like us that want a normal life, that want kids and shit and stuff like that, right? But at some point you gotta be like, you about to put them through everything that you just went through that you ain't like.
Didn't like and felt like you was fighting for your life.
Then you gonna make them do the same thing when they ain't even asked to be here. I ain't asked to be here.
I brought this world to suffer.
That's why if I ain't listen to nothing else my mama told me, I always listen to when she tell me to watch who I have kids about or watch who I mess with, because you don't want your kid to have what she always told me, like, you don't want your kid to have sickle cell. Like, you don't want to have to go through that. So make sure that you know who your partner is and who you messing with, and if they got the trait, the full thing, whatever. And she told me, like, you don't talk to nobody who got sickle cell. Like,
gots to know the genotype.
Yes, like the trait too. You tell your partner, go get tested. If you don't know if you got it or not, go get tested to see if you do.
Hold on, Zion, did you just say facts?
I said facts. I was saying facts too. What y'all was saying?
Don't got sickle cell. No, I'm playing. Let me stop. Let me stop.
Hey, yo, wow.
We're lifer.
Wow.
I at least travel to the other side of the spectrum. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, y'all are wild.
I can't risk it. I'm gonna cry if my kid come out with the trait. So I cannot.
I'm saying.
Yeah. I don't even think I want kids.
Honestly.
But honestly, I'm very maternal when it comes to my siblings and stuff. I've always looked into like adoption or fostering, but like having, I don't know.
The only thing that scares me about like bringing an extra child into this world is just if we get sick, we're gonna have to miss events. I don't want you to resent me
Yeah,
nothing. You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, you throw in the what if I die?
I was
Now
about to
I got a kid that's out here that gotta fend for
oh,
themselves.
Right.
Facts.
Then that's a kid my mama got to raise all over again, and both her kids
Same,
grown.
and even if they got the
No.
sickle cell again, it's the same situation.
Mhm.
Definitely.
I'm trying to tell you, my mama better than me because I wouldn't have been driving to nobody Cincinnati once a
Cause
month.
who?
To sit in the doctor's office 9 to 5, that's a whole work shift.
And not getting paid for it.
What do you
my mom up our house in a because you know when you get admitted in Cincinnati Children's, they have like that couch. My mama would sleep on the little couch bed and do her work in the bed.
Okay.
My mama ended up getting in the bed with me. She started sleeping in the bed with me. She don't even sleep on the couch no more.
No.
She will sleep in the bed with me.
I need to move. My arms hurt. Don't touch me.
With the when I had my transplant, they had paid for a hotel and stuff, but you know the hospital they be moving funny depending on the nurse you got and all that goofy stuff. So they my mom didn't like go to the hotel, and the one day she was just snoring like mad loud, and I was like, babe. I'm like, I can't. Like I closed my eyes like here. I was like, it was like she tired. I was like, girl, please go. Cause y'all know, y'all know Tasha had her heart attack at the same time I was having my transplant. It was like the day before I ended up getting the chemo or something like that was the day she had her heart attack. So then my mom had to come back here, get her, go back to Cincinnati. Like, and I get it, it's a lot.
That was a lot because the same thing kind of happened with us. Like I had got sick. It was in the ICU, couldn't breathe on my own, and my daddy was having surgery because he done wrecked and broke, been paralyzed from the neck down. My mama, I know she was stressed out.
That has same thing happen. I remember it was a couple of years ago. This was when I ended up having to get my ports in. I was in the hospital for like a month. And at the same time, my mama had to be in Columbus because my little brother was in the hospital, in the ICU.
Yeah, they superheroes for sure.
For real. Because I would have
literally
been
superheroes.
Couldn't have been me. I'd have been somewhere in Jamaica with a whole new family.
You hear me? I'm out of here. I can't do this.
And then what's crazy is me and my sister, we would get sick at the same time, going from hospital room. It got to a point where nurses would just be like, just sit her hospital room across the room from his. And I'd be like, because literally she would just go back and forth from room to room.
I couldn't imagine having 2 kids with it though. Or like multiple. Like I know this lady, she followed me on Instagram and she got 2 sets of twins. And all of the kids got sickle cell.
Oh.
And couldn't be me.
Like, that stresses me out thinking about it.
Okay, and like props to her.
That's too much.
Like, and I seen this.
That's a lot.
I seen this other lady on Facebook the other day, and both of her daughters, like one had to get a transfusion and one had apheresis, and they put them in the same room. And I'm like, okay, that's convenient. I wish they had stuff like that though for like siblings, so you wouldn't have to travel room to room and split your time, all that. But no, our parents are most definitely superheroes for real.
Oh, I got an ER story. They made me so mad one time.
I just had one too.
The hospital upside down.
We might as well just do it now.
I was just talking to Kaya about it.
Go ahead, Z.
No, someone can go.
Okay, it was like a couple, I was probably like 15, and my mama was out with her friends, and I had stayed at my friend's house, and mind you, my daddy never really, he'd be there when I'm sick, but he never really had to take action by himself when I was going through like a real bad pain crisis. So I'm at my friend's house and I just started having like a real bad pain crisis. Like my back was hurting, so I couldn't sit down. So I kept standing up, but it was hard for me to stay standing up because my legs started hurting. So it was like I kept standing up, standing down, moving around. Like it just was going bad. But my mom couldn't get to me in time because she was out with her friends. So I had to call my dad. And so he rushed to come pick me up. And in the car, he was asking me, like, do you want to go home and take medicine or do you want to go to the hospital? But it's like the pain's so bad I can't even talk. Like, I didn't know. So I guess he started panicking. It was just like, I'm going to just take her to the hospital. So we sitting at a red light and I'm moving back and forth, tossing and turning in the passenger seat, and he panicking. So my dad runs the light. And as soon as he gets on the highway, the police pulls us over.
I was about to
So
ask.
the police get to the car, they flashing the light all in my face. They asking what's wrong. He like, my daughter got to go to the hospital right now. Like she got sickle cell, she having pain. Like she got to go to the hospital right now. He like, well, sir, you were speeding and you can't do that. I'm like, I need to go to the hospital. So he like, we gonna call the ambulance, and they called the ambulance or whatever. And I was telling them I couldn't walk. My legs was hurting, and they was still trying to make me walk from the car into the ambulance truck. Like, but I'm telling them I can't walk, like, and they still forcing me to walk. So I finally get in the ambulance, and the lady, she sticks me one time. I'm like, but before she sticks me, I'm like, you're not gonna get a good vein. Like my veins small and they roll. So, and we driving at that. So you're not about to get one. Like she stick me anyways. What she do? She missed, like I told her she would. She tried again. I said, you're gonna miss again. So, but as she's about to stick for the second time, my dad's following them, like running lights with them and everything. She tells the driver to stop the truck so she can get out and go tell my dad that he can't run the lights with them. Mind you, I'm in pain. We need to get to the hospital. Why are you not telling him that he can't run the lights with y'all? That's not relevant. So she gets back in the truck and she tries to stick me again, and she missed. So at this point, I'm cussing her out. I done call my mama. I'm calling her all type of names and stuff. We get to the hospital. She tell my dad, you can't park right here. You can't go in with us. You got to go park somewhere else. I'm like, I need medicine. Y'all fooling. Like, I need medicine, and y'all playing around with me. Like, y'all really playing with me. So we get in there, and the lady just rude. She just still the same lady who was sticking me in the ambulance truck. She's trying to do it. And the nurse can't even ask me questions because she in there talking and doing. Your job is over. First of all, you did your job wrong, and it's over. And it was just terrible. It was terrible. It was terrible. It was the worst experience ever. It made me never want to get in the ambulance again or go to the ER through an ambulance. Like, I don't know. It was just not good at all. It still took them forever to give me my medicine. It's just bad.
I remember that day. I remember I was talking to you on the phone. You was like, my daddy just got pulled up.
Yes, I was so mad. Like, what? I don't see how you thought that was relevant to do.
Yeah.
Why did you think that was necessary? And I can't even sit still. I'm in so much pain. I can't even sit still. And you keep trying to stick me. I keep telling you you're going to miss, and you missing every time. And then you think it's relevant to get out and tell him he can't run a light?
But in all honesty, that officer could have gave y'all an escort.
Facts. Literally.
Because I would have just gave y'all an escort and gave you a ticket right there. Like, if it was that serious, like.
It was that simple.
Like, yeah.
I don't know. It was bad. My mama ended up calling Corain, police department, and everything, because they was just terrible. That was the worst service ever.
Hey, rule number 1 to the people: never call the ambulance.
Never call the ambulance.
Mama first.
Never. Because at that point, we should have just kept going.
No,
we should have just kept going. Like, bye. You will talk to us when we get to where we're going. How about that?
Yeah. My all-time favorite ER story is when they thought I was an inmate. Yeah,
I remember that.
Bruh.
When they had put me in the room with the cameras and the sink, and we had been to this ER like multiple times, but it was typically during nighttime. So I texted my mom, and I was like, "Oh, this must be the room they put Negroes in during the day, because it had the camera and all that." And then I went to use the restroom, and I come back and I hear all this laughing. I'm like, "What's going on?" And come to find out, the nurse thought I was a daggone inmate because my mom had her uniform on. But the craziest part about it was she ain't have on like a police uniform. She just had on like a black shirt with the sheriff's star on it and some khakis. I ain't have on no handcuffs. I ain't have on no shackles. We ain't pull up in no police car. There was no indication whatsoever that I was an inmate. And it ain't helped that I had that blue hair at the time. I ain't have on no jumpsuit, no nothing. And then she talking about, oh, well, let me take it out the system. Why would you put it in the system? Like, without even asking anybody. And then that same day, the doctors from Cincinnati had called to the ER to tell them that I was coming in and what my pain plan was. And the doctor came in and said, yeah, so we're going to do fentanyl. Fentanyl? I said,
that blew me too.
I said, that don't work. I said, that don't work. He was like, well, we're going to try. Okay, go ahead and try it, but it's not going to work. He was like, and this was in like 2019. He was like, yeah, there's a morphine shortage. Mind you, we had just went to that same exact ER 2 days prior. My mom was like, when did this morphine shortage happen? He said 2015. Sir, it's a whole 4 years later. Quit playing with my meds and run me my stuff. Good, and then they did the fentanyl up the nose.
Up the nose.
They did the fentanyl.
I hate that so bad.
They did the fentanyl up the nose, and then he came in and was like, "How are you feeling?" I was like, "It didn't work."
The same. the same as when you squirted that up my nose.
And then he came in with the morphine, and I was like, "Oh, thank you for finally doing what
I
you."
had to tell them at a point, stop coming in here with fentanyl because it don't work. And I'm not going to tell y'all every time. It was like I went in 4 times in a row. They kept trying to give it to me like, we'll get this. It'll work until your Dilaudid gets here. I said, I don't care. It don't work. Just stop. Stop coming in here with that because it don't work. Like, I don't get why we got to keep telling y'all the same thing over and over. I said, put it in the chart so that everybody will know.
When you put it in the chart, they still don't read it.
I'm saying they still don't even read it.
Yeah. It was that, and then it was another. I got so many crazy ER stories. It ain't funny. They just be in there doing stuff. Like, they just be doing stuff. I don't even. Ari, you got one?
Kind of, not like I don't really have no like story. I just remember being there from almost open to like 6 o'clock waiting, 6 o'clock p.m. Then they're waiting 12 hours to get back there. They're crying, sitting in a wheelchair, calling out for my mama. And they brought me back. Mind you, I had came in the ambulance, and they had put me in a bed in a hallway, and I sat there. No meds, just sat there.
That's why I never get in the ambulance.
Like, in their med. But I don't really have no.
The last time I remember riding in the ambulance was when I had that blood clot and that pneumonia that they missed for 2 weeks, right before graduation, and then we went to the ER. I was dead set on going to school. My last day of senior year was on 4/20. What are the odds? I had big plans for that day. Meanwhile, oxygen levels was on 30%. Didn't even walk to the bathroom, and I was still determined to go to school. Do you hear me? And then my mom came in, and she got her little pulse ox little thing, and was like, "Let me check your levels," because at that point I couldn't even lay without like propping my arm up on a Gatorade bottle, being in a weird position to even be able to breathe. And she checked it, and it was like 30% or something crazy like that. She was like, "Yeah, we're going into the ER." I'm like, "Right now? Like, it's the morning of, like, I'm trying to like." She was like, "We're going to the ER." They did the scans and stuff, and then they were like, "Yes, you have a blood clot in your right lung and pneumonia in your left." And they were like, "We need to get you to a hospital. Okay, well, we had been to that ER like 4 or 5 times before they even found it. And we thought it was a regular crisis. And then they sent us, they got the ambulance. And they sent us to Riverside. My mom was like, "Can she go to Cincinnati?" And they was like, "Oh, she ain't gonna make it." I was like, "What you mean I ain't gonna make it?" Like, and it was 3 days before my 18th
so you ain't got enough gas in your car?
Talking about the oxygen. I needed oxygen and that long drive and all this other stuff. And I was just like, all right. And then at the time, I was like the youngest patient on the floor. It was 3 days before my 18th birthday. So it's a good story about family too. It all kind of flows. They was trying to look out for me because it was a big birthday. And that's when they brought in them sparkler candles on the cake. And my granny was like, "Wait, she's on oxygen." And my mom and my teacher was like, and all this smoke is coming up, and the nurse walks in. It was just like, her business went doing what she was doing, but they did. They almost blew up us and the whole hospital on my birthday, trying to make it a good birthday. Cause you know my mama extra. She can't do those regular candles. They had to be them sparkler joints. That was stuff was popping everywhere. I was like, girl. But that was one of the only times I really remember having to ride in the ambulance. For I'm sure I've had to do it when I was younger, but like as an older person, that was top 10 core memory right there. Z, you got a story about the ER?
I got one recently. Friend, just like Ariana said, I went to an ambulance and I was in the waiting room for like 16 hours. 16 hours I counted.
That's
I was like,
I
said, you said, huh?
get that. Like, why?
I'm saying.
Me either.
And my thing is, like, hospitals have to have some sort of sickle cell protocol, and they just don't be following it. And I get it. We may not look like we in pain, but like, dude, we wouldn't. I promise you, we would. We're not here for fun.
You know what I'm saying? But like, I'm not just trying to waste my whole day here for no reason.
You know what I'm saying? I got bigger and better things to do, especially if it's a holiday or a birthday or somebody else's birthday. Like, dude,
this was just New Year's Eve. This was a week before New Year's, and I was like, wow. And then what's crazy is it took me 16 hours to get to the back room, and then I sat in a bed in the hallway for an actual room for another 8 hours.
Yeah, see, that's
and then it took me a total of 25, 26 hours to actually get meds in my system after going to an ambulance and getting into the hospital. I was like, bro,
I'm flipping the hospital upside down. Like, I can't go.
But my question would then be, what would y'all do if I died?
Right.
Literally.
How about, what are y'all doing? Get me back there right now.
That, but then
why y'all playing around?
And it didn't help that once COVID hit, everybody's like, oh, COVID.
That's what I'm saying. That's the big part right there. They have all these people like coming in for like COVID and flu symptoms, but people that actually need ER emergency like protocols, like they don't attend to them because they got all these people coming in for, oh, I got a cough. I think I got COVID. like, bro.
And then y'all got a sickle cell patient sitting in the waiting room with these cold and flu people. Y'all don't think that that's making it worse? Like, y'all.
Talk about they got a priority list.
I am the priority list. Number 1, get me back there. Like what?
Like, I'll be like, I hear you, but I don't. Like,
oh yeah, this was another one that hit me. This was on the 31st. No, this was the 31st. I called the ambulance. So I had spent New Year's 2023 in the hospital. I was in the waiting room. And freaking, you know how they give you your drugs, they give you your Dilaudid and all that good stuff. So they give me, I was just talking Kai about this, how about I almost shed a tear. Because I came in, they gave me my meds, right? And then they all of a sudden, you know, they do their chest x-ray or something like that. They do all sorts of x-ray wherever you're having pain. I was just talking to Kai, I was like, why do they give us these meds and then expect us to like do tasks like take off all your jewelry, take off all this so we can get this x-ray? I'm like, when I get my meds, I'm trying to sleep. Like, I'm not trying to move. I'm not trying to do none of that. I'm trying to rest. But you know what I'm saying?
For me, when they push that Benny and they want to ask you 7 questions,
Oh,
baby, I'm moving in slow motion right now. Regroup in about 10 minutes, please.
They have social work come in to register you right after they done gave you all these. I'm like, I don't even know what I take no more. Like, you gotta give me a second.
You said when is my birthday? When is
That's why now I tell them to come back. If they come in after I done got married, you gotta come back when I wake up.
And
I'm not talking to you.
Legally, you can't even sign nothing when you
right.
Right. They should be coming beforehand. They
should be coming beforehand anyway at this point.
Yeah.
Got another story. Or it wasn't even no big story. It was just this time I went into the ER and the doctor, no, it wasn't a doctor. It was the nurse. She literally went back and forth with me for like 30 minutes and was bullshitting me my meds. Like I'm lying about my pain. Well, we're looking at the chart and this is what this says. What are we talking about?
Nobody care about what the chart say. Listen to what I said.
Of my arm the size of my head, and you trying to read to me some levels. I'm lying. Going back, we're not being serious. I was so pissed.
I think the thing that blows me the most with like nurses that act like that, you picked this job. I didn't pick this lifestyle. I was born with this shit. I'm gonna die with this shit. Let's be real. Like, I was born sick, I'm gonna die sick. That's the reality of the situation. I got more experience with this than you do because you just graduated, babe. So if we could reevaluate and keep it pushing, because I guarantee you, I could probably give myself an IV by now. Like,
literally.
Oh, I can.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and I hate like when Simone was talking about the lady missing. If I tell you it's gonna blow and you still stick it anyway, I'm gonna look at you like you dumb. Cause I just told you. Cause it's not that, like, with something like that, that's not hard to listen to. It's not like I'm telling you to push my morphine all in 5 seconds. That could kill. You know what I'm saying? Don't do it. I understand you got rules and regulations, but if I'm telling you that my right arm don't got no veins going my left, why do you feel like you feel a juicy vein in my right when my right arm ain't worked since I was 7?
Like, be for real.
Not for real. Sometimes I'll be wanting to tell these nurses, like, humble yourself.
Please.
Because
literally.
if it wasn't for me, you wouldn't get paid.
Right.
Literally.
Like, let's talk about it. Like, and then the thing that I don't think they understand also is like that shit's scary. Like, if I can't trust you and you literally have my life in your hands,
yeah, facts. That's a problem.
I'd be real quick to be like, I need a new nurse.
Literally, real quick. I'm calling. What's it called? Head nurse of the floor. Charge nurse. Yeah, I'm quick to call the charge nurse.
My favorite sick leave superpower is I'm able to tell if the nurse is gonna be a good stick or not.
Yeah.
That's my favorite sick leave superpower.
I don't even test them with sticking me no more.
Because if you come in too, oh my gosh, to get it, oh my gosh, you gonna miss. If you don't come in on your stuff, you gonna miss. There'll be sometimes the nurse will have a back turn and I'll look at my mom and be like, and she'll stick me and miss, and I'll be like, see, like I told you. But no, I do. I really wish that nurses would like just get it together.
Just listen to us for one time. Like, you get to tell people and do your job how you want any other time. This one time, if I'm telling you how to do something the right way, or you only got to do it one time, just listen to me this one time. Because I swear, every time I go get blood work done for apheresis, I get stuck at least 3 times because they miss every time because they don't listen to the point where when I go to the ER, no, y'all can't stick me. Go get a vaccine. I'm not playing with y'all.
Somebody had walked in one time and was like, I heard you need vaccine. For what? I was like, I'm fine. And my favorite line is they be like, "Are you an easy stick? As long as you are." What are you saying to me? Like, cause I'm not gonna move. I ain't gonna like. As long as you listen to what I'm telling you and where to go, like then we could. And I'll be having my arm out and ready, and then they still be like, "Where do you want me to go?"
I feel like
Andrew, I'd be killing me with the countdown. Do you need a count? Girl, stick me. Just
Hey,
stick
I
me.
do. I ain't even gonna beat you. I'm a little punk. I'll be like, left arm count to 3, and we
I'd
could.
be sick of it.
I do. I tell them, make sure you count to 3, and we'll be all right. And then they'll be
I'd
like,
be
"Oh,
so
you're
over
a
it.
watcher." I sure am.
it's
Damn.
early.
I'm
Yes,
gonna
I
watch you
gotta
to make
see.
sure you put it right. But
Literally. They be like, if you turn your head, it's gonna be better. I'm
No.
like, what?
No,
but
I
I'm gonna
need
turn
to.
my head.
Is that
for you
scientifically
because of my
proven?
arm. Right? Okay. I was in the ER the one time, and the lady was like getting ready to stick me, and I'm watching her, and she's like, turn your head, lean back."
You camera shy or something? Like,
Like, no, I'm gonna watch you stick. She was like, lean back, lean your head back. No, stick me. And then they be having enough nerve to be wanting to dig and get your arm and stuff. Like,
oh, I can't. Oh, that I never forget. I actually did put my hands on a nurse before
I
because
tell
she
them, I say, take it out, or I'm gonna take it out for you. And I say,
digging in my arm.
It's just like that.
I done took an IV out before too. I done took mass IVs out on my own.
hey, that
Take
one
this
dude,
out.
I put it out because it hurt.
the one crazy dude that was smoking in the bathroom. I ain't trying to name no names, but y'all know who I'm talking about, right? he be taking out his own IVs and stuff too, and be posting on Snapchat, and I be like, you one of the reasons people be thinking we crazy, because there's some people that really be doing stuff like that,
Yes.
but then there's people like us that really got sense and move like we got sense, like.
No, he just need help. Like,
God.
he need help.
He need Jesus. I'm surprised that they ain't booted him yet.
No, for real. Probably because they can't.
That's probably because he really do be so sick that he
do.
What are you doing?
Bro, cause Z, you what, 21?
They moved me out of there quick.
But they share the same birthday.
Saying he's 21.
Bro, 21 too. Why ain't you going?
They moved me out of there quick.
Yeah.
They said,
Area
first
appointment, I'll be
week.
expecting them to tell me it's my
I
last
didn't
day.
even hit 21 yet. They was already pushing the papers out. I was like,
my last appointment ever at Cincinnati Children's is gonna be not next week, week after next. And I'll never have to step foot in that place again.
That's crazy.
I was not ready.
Off my feet so I can dance.
They was talking about it in the summertime, like June. They was like, yeah, go ahead, we getting you ready to get out of here. I was like, dang, my birthday like 6 months away.
Well, yeah, because you gotta transition and find places and all that. They can't just boot you and you don't got nowhere to go. But
right.
I think that I'm gonna say I think it's shitty that we get booted at 21 and the cancer kids get to stay till they good and grown. And one thing is, I love our cancer friends and stuff. But as a kid, I used to be like, why they get all this stuff and we don't? We in the same hospital on the same floor, in the same, you know what I'm saying?
Struggling just as much as them.
And
I am too.
And here we are getting moved out of a room because a cancer kid needs to get chemo, or like the shit just don't make sense.
Yeah, it definitely was a little weird too.
And the fact that like sickle cell patients get treated worse in adult hospitals, like why would you not advocate to keep us a little bit longer? And I already know some adults with sickle cells out here raising hell. They gotta be. Like I know that, and that's probably why they be booting us. But still, like I feel like some of us, like
most of us, just out here trying to get
survive.
And I the other thing about that is like with nurses that do and say crazy things, I don't think they realize that some of us got real deal PTSD when it comes to like the way we've been treated in the hospitals, and then on top of that, like our friends and siblings and family members and shit like that dying. Like sometimes I be feeling like that shit's foul play. Like I wish I could just go back in time and sit there and watch. Like how was you treating this person before this shit went down? Like what was really going on? You know what I'm saying? Because they be moving too funny.
Yeah, they definitely be moving a little funny, a little foul play, a little fishy.
It'd be a lot of fishy.
A lot of fishy.
Heavy on the PTSD because that little ambulance situation gave me anxiety and PTSD.
It's true. It would have gave me some PTSD too. Cause what you mean? I'm calling an ambulance? No, give me an escort.
For real.
And that pain was so bad.
The ride be bumpy. Just my back hurting, and we going over potholes. You done went over a pothole.
Yes.
Let them have it.
And my mama, she be mad at me because now that I'm over 18 and they don't have to talk to my mama about discharges and all that stuff, y'all ain't listening to me. Y'all ain't giving me my medicine like I'm asking. I'm about to go.
I'm out of here.
Got here
now.
Ready to go.
I'm about to bounce. Yeah, go on, run me them papers.
And I'm gonna write a letter.
Heavy on to write a letter because y'all just played with me.
Hey, be like, oh girl for white chicks, dear Mr. Royal Hampton.
For real.
Like, cause they be, yeah.
This just goes to show to all doctors and nurses: listen to your patients. And it's
heavy on the nurses.
So it's y'all read this stuff out of a book. This is our life. Our life. You going off of numbers. This is subjective.
Thanks.
Them books teaching y'all how to deal with everybody as a whole, all patients in a hospital. Every patient not the same. Everybody different. Everybody body work different. Like, you got to listen to us.
Yeah.
I like think you know everything.
Because they don't. You don't know everything.
That degree don't mean nothing.
You know they say that the mean girls in high school always become nurses.
Yep, that's true. Mean and nasty.
And I'll be mean and nasty right back. They hate me. I don't care. Y'all not gonna talk to me any kind of way.
It came in and they actually told me, maybe if you weren't so aggressive or hostile, about my life. You sound fucking crazy.
For real.
What? You treat me better? Go to hell.
I do. I wish nurses, for sure, some of the nurses would get their heads out their ass. Because after a while, like at children's, after a while, like I was like, I'm not doing it if Sue not there.
Oh, Miss Sue was the GOAT.
Hey, if Sue wasn't my nurse that day, I'm going home.
She stuck me from when I was a baby.
Okay.
Every time. One stick, never miss. I said, oh,
never miss.
Hey, that tourniquet used to be tight as all get out. I started tight.
But she ain't gonna miss.
At all.
She ain't gonna miss. Facts.
I used to, at the hospital, they put the tourniquet on, and I look at my mom. I'll be like, "It's so tight, or it's not so tight." And if it ain't so tight, I feel like you gonna miss, like for real.
My mama used to tell them, "Go get Sue, she'll get it."
Okay.
Facts.
Shout out to
Miss
Sue.
Sue was the one.
Cause that's the girl. Always been the girl.
Literally, always.
Always. Since baby, that's crazy. I just seen her like 2 weeks ago.
Yeah,
and she stuck me for them.
Yeah. Cause I had to have it in the thing. If it ain't no experienced nurse or if it ain't Sue, I ain't coming in.
About nothing.
What? I ain't even go cap. When I seen Lynette and Dr. Jaffe and them at Zanaya's memorial service, that's what did it for me. I said,
Well,
really.
Naomi too. Well,
said,
Dr.
yeah,
Jaffe,
Dr.
I love
Jaffe.
her.
I said,
Yes.
we locked in for sure.
For real.
Y'all care, because then that proved to me that it wasn't just a job. You
Right.
know, because with Dre's service, all we seen was Chanel and Miss Lisa was there. And then once we went and did Naya's and then everybody was there. Miss Pat was there. I hadn't seen
Miss Pat was there.
Yeah, Miss Pat was there.
I ain't gonna lie, we had dang near the whole hematology staff in there.
No, for real. Oh,
no,
and
for real.
Oh yeah, old and current for real.
Yeah, no, but once I seen them for sure, when I seen them there, I said, for life first, like we locked in.